Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, in last session what we have done, so we saw that, so how to create a trial account in Snowflake. I hope everyone has created the same trial account by seeing the video. It's very simple, right? What we have done. So we went to this Snowflake trial account link, the signup.snowflake.com. Then we have given our personal details. In the next page, we have selected the AWS Cloud platform. Then we click the next. Account has created by default, right? When we created an account, so this is our link, so which we are going to use for trial account, right? Here this is our unique account details. When you create for you also, you will have a unique account details like this. After that, this will tell about region, Asia Pacific South 1 region, and then this is about the cloud platform, right? When you created a link, we have given username and then password, right? Based on that, it has so logged into our account, right? So this is so required. So when you are working with, so any, when we are creating a table, or when you want to so work with any warehouse or database, this account is required. This is completely a cloud. Normally when you want to install any database, what we need to do, so we need to, like, let's say for example, so we need to download the software, and then after that we need to, so system configuration, installation, configuration, everything we need to do that. But in the cloud, we don't require all these things, right? It's with a simple link we are going to connect to our software, our database. Now in this session we will see, so what is database, and what exactly schema is, and so what is tables, and so why we need to store the data into the tables. All these things we will see that now. So for that, so to to understand this, so first we will log into our Snowflake account. Same thing, when you want to work with any Oracle database or Teradata database also, you need to install in your system, then you need to connect it to that, right? So you have to configure, after that you need to connect, so then only you can able to work with that, right? The same thing here. So what we have to do is, now just observe here, we will try to log in with our Snowflake link. Come to our browser. Here I'm clicking on the link, and it will ask you username and password, right? So let me give the username, let it open. Username is Snowflake 5 we have given, and then I have given a password. When we logged in here, if you observe, all the configuration is done for us. No need to do anything. So like system administration, and then creating a user accounts, and then creating a roles, all those things it is not required. Observe this, when you logged into our Snowflake trial account, you can able to see this particular window, right? So if you want to go to user friendly, so then what you need to do is you need to click on classic console. Every time when you are clicking username and password, when you are clicking the link, and then so if you want to go to classic console, what the setup you need to do is, so you have to click manually on this, or come to, just come to this. This is a setup what you need to what we need to done. See this one. So here, profile, when you go to profile, here you can able to see this one. If you scroll down, you have a option to see this default experience. You can click on classic user interface. Classic user interface, this is a new user interface. Classic interface is so very user friendly. Now just click on classic user interface, and then click on save. click on save. So just give comment. Okay. Now if you observe what we have done, so first we given the username and password, then so this particular web page displayed this particular user interface. This is a new user interface. Then what you have to do is, so click on classic console. So if you every time if you want to click on classic console, instead of that, what I have done, click on this account admin. So option, drop down option, go to the profile. Here in the profile, if you scroll down, default experience, classic experience I have selected. Okay. Then again clicking on classic console. When I click on classic console, it will ask you the same username and password. Username and password we have created, right? So it will send a link to our email ID. There we click, when you click on activate the account, it will ask you our username and password. That username and password once you created, you can able to see this one. This is the default classic view of your Snowflake account. When you observe here, you can able to see left hand side, see this, these are two databases Snowflake has given for us practice purpose. Snowflake and then Snowflake sample data. These are two databases Snowflake has given for practice. Okay, the left hand side, this is navigation panel. The top, so you can see this is icons, right? This we will call it as a ribbon. This we will call it as a ribbon. So here these all the each and every icon, so there is a so functionality in the each and every icon. So you can able to, for example, if you want to create any new databases, you can click on database. If you want to create a shares, you can click on a shares. So warehouse, we will discuss each and everything one by one. But if you observe one thing, already it is available, no need to do anything, it's ready to use, right? Kind of plug and play, assume that. If you observe, see this one, switch roles also, you have already, so some roles has been created by Snowflake. You can use these roles, no need to create again. We will come to that each and every role, what is the role. By default, you can able to see account admin role. It means that is a super user role, so where you can able to do so everything. It means there is no restriction in a Snowflake when you are using account admin role. Okay, you can able to create, you can able to drop, you can able to see everything. Now, so this is our Snowflake database. When you come to here worksheet, here you are going to write the queries. Here we are going to write the SQL select statements. Before going to that, so what is this particular data? If you observe one thing, this is a database and all these are schemas. In this database, you have all these are schemas. When you click on any one schema, you can able to see all these other tables. Now, what is the relation? So why we need database and why we need schemas? Okay, let's assume generally, so when we are working with Excel. Okay, I will take the Excel example and then I will explain what is database, the schema, and then table. And here, when you want to work with Snowflake, in the last session, what we have done, so we created a Snowflake account, trial account. That is nothing but a installation for us, right? If you want to work with a Excel file, so then what you need to do? You need to install Excel, right? Excel. So software should be installed in your system, right? That is the first step, right? Once the Excel software is installed in your system, then you can consider this as database installation. Once it is installed, then what you can do? You can create n number of Excel files, right? A number of Excel files we can create once it is installed. Excel is installed. Excel installation, you can relate it to database installation. So any database, it's a software, Oracle database or Teradata database, SQL data, MySQL database, MongoDB, Postgres, whatever it may be, that database installation is, so you can consider that as a Excel software installation. When you installed Excel software in your system, then only you can able to work with Excel, right? And at the same time, once it is installed, if you type Excel, you can able to work with this Excel, and you can able to create, once Excel software is installed in your system, we can able to create n number of Excel files, right? You can create n number of Excel files. Each and every Excel file you can consider it is a database. It is a database. Now if you observe, same way here, if you observe, we have class database, we have Snowflake database, we have sample database. Three databases is available. Where it is available? In our Snowflake account. Snowflake is our database. So account, the software, this is the complete thing what you are seeing here. Within this, you are creating databases. Databases is nothing but you can consider n number of Excel files you can able to create. When you can create, when it is installed, when it is installed in your system, right? The same way here. Now the databases is available, and if you click on the database, within the database you have some schemas, right? Some schemas is available, right? Different schemas is available. Okay, so now within this database, what is this schemas? Schemas is nothing but, if you observe in a Excel file, what you have: sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. You can create n number of Excel sheets like this, right? Sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, all these things you can able to create within this Excel sheet, book 1 Excel sheet. Now this book 1 Excel you can consider as one database. Within the database or the sheets, right? What we are having the sheets, these sheets you can consider as schemas. You can relate it to schemas. Why we need to separately maintain the schemas? Suppose here I am giving, so for example, when I am created the Excel expenses, okay, here, so I need to so give tasks, okay, whatever the tasks I am implementing here I will give family details. Okay, here I will maintain all my account details, bank account details. Now observe this one. Each and every tab I am dividing separate data, right? Here I am giving the family details, here I am taking the whatever the tasks I have to implement. So here I have the all my bank account details. Here I am going to, in this particular sheet, I'm going to maintain all the family details. In this particular sheet, all the expenses details I am going to maintain, right? And then, so like that, so you can able to create n number of sheets. Why you are differentiating sheets here? Let's say in same expenses sheet, if I put all the data in one place, then it is very difficult to understand, right? Let's assume that, so we have a, when we are studying, so when in a class they are dividing, so each and every subject as a separate books, right? Each and every subject separate thing. We will not have all the things in one textbook, right? Like all the subjects, so it will be confused. So if you want to pick exact information, it is very difficult, right? That's why, so they are separating based on the subject wise. That subject wise, so data we are going to maintain like this. In a organization, let's assume if it is an organization, you will have all the employee details in one sheet, all the sales related details in one sheet, and then, so all, for example, all the employees, or sales, and then account department details in one sheet. All same name is available. All the HR details is available in one sheet. Now observe this what we are doing. Employee details we are maintaining one sheet. All the sales related to the products we are having one sheet. HR one sheet. Account details one sheet. What is happening here? In each and every sheet is individual subject, right? Each and every sheet is individual subject. The same way, if you observe here, see this one, each and in this is a database, right? That's nothing but a, you can relate to Excel file. Within that, you will have a multiple sheets, nothing but you will have multiple schemas. Each and every schema contains different information. Each and every schema contains different information. So we can consider as a different modules or different subjects. That's why we have a schemas here, different schemas. If you go inside any one of the schema, again, you will have some tables, right? See this one, all these other tables. Now, so why we need to store this in tables? Now here, if you observe, okay, let's come to employee details or sales data, whatever it may be, employee details sheet here. So this is the complete sheet. So where we have given to store all the details related to employees information, related to employees information. Now, if you observe, so here within this is a place where we can store. Within this, whatever you are creating, it will be available in this EMP. So this particular sheet, right? That is nothing but a schema. Here, the tables is nothing but, so it is occupying some storage. Now it will be like this. For example, this is assume that this is table one. This is, let's assume this is table one. You have given some space for so storing the data in this format, columns. These are the columns, and then remaining these are the rows, columns and rows. It will be like, so columns and rows. Now first one is a column, for example, ID, employee ID, name, and then salary, and then location. Okay, these details we are going to store it here in a Excel file. If you store these details like this in a Excel file, it is very difficult to fetch the information, right? That's why, so what we will do, in a database you are going to store in the form of tables. You are going to store in the form of tables. You can create n number of tables in one schema. Now if you observe here, come to this particular Excel sheet, this is one table, right? Employee table. Let's say again, this is so another table I'm creating. This is a another table related to so employee sales related information. Okay, this is the column names. These are column names. It's not applying. And then these are rows. So these we can call it as a, okay, fine. These are rows, and then these are column names, right? Again, this is another table. Now, so here, so ID, name, salary, and then location we have. Again, we have employee ID here. Just a minute. Okay, ID, employee ID we have again. And then here, employee designation. employee designation, and then here you will have so employee, maybe department. I will so change the color later. Just a minute, guys. Hello, hello. Oh, sorry, guys. Okay, so now, so let's come to this one. So here what we are doing, so like, so we have like department details and then employees related some other information. For example, employee address, and then so employee, for example, mm, yeah, department, department already we have taken, and then employee location we have, so employee designation we have, and then employee we take age. All these details, so we are going to store it here. So how we are storing here, see this one, this is a table structure, column names and then details. Here you will have a employee ID details, right? This is a table structure we have given so far to store the data related to employee details, right? So this is the complete sheet, worksheet. This is nothing but we can call it as a worksheet. Worksheet is nothing but you can relate it to our so schema. You can relate it to our schema, right? And then within the schema what you have a tables. Now observe this, these are the tables. Like this you can create n number of tables here in your worksheet, right? There is no limitation. Each and every table represents different subjects, right? So same way what we have discussed in the last session, right? If you observe here, let's come to this. If you observe here, see this one, this is a schema. Within the schema what you have, within the schema we have the tables. Within the schema we have tables, right? Each and every table what it contains, it contains a data, right? Why we need to store the data in the tables only? Suppose if you maintain the data so in notes, let's assume that you cannot able to, so that is not sufficient, you cannot able to write the information. Suppose you are writing the data, you are inserting the data in a Excel file, you have the information, but these files, so it is having a limitation. We cannot store more than 1 lakh records in our Excel files. When you try to open Excel, it will stuck. It is very difficult. That's why we have a separate software to store the data in structured format. That's why the database softwares came into the picture. Now, within the database, there is no limitation. You can so store n number of records in the table in a structured format. Structured format means like table column names and then so records, column names and then records, right? This is nothing but a structured formats, columns and then rows. Now, if you observe here, so you can able to see the information properly. See this one, when you fetch the information, column names, right? Customer name, customer key, address, nation, phone number, account balance, right? And then customer comments. You can able to see all the information properly, right? And main advantage why we are storing the data in our this particular snowflake is particular, sorry, table is so to fetch information. For example here, so if you observe, this is a customer, right? Let me connect it to this schema. So if you want to connect it to any schema here on any database here, so you have n number of databases like Snowflake database, class database, sample database we have. If you want to connect it to any specific schema or database, come here and then set as a context. When you click on that, what will happen is, see, it will connect to that particular database, and then it will connect to this particular schema. It is connecting to this particular schema, right? Now, so one thing, if you want to check the information from the customer, then give that particular table and then fetch this information. I will tell you what it means by this. Now, when you run this, see this is a structured format, the data stored here. You can see the information, right? But it is a huge volume of the data. You can see this information, customer related information. Here, we don't want all the information. We want specific information, like I want to see only the customer name and then customer phone number, and then based on customer comments, based on filter conditions. So you have a option to select. See this one, only we required, so customer name, only we require customer name, and then we don't require address. So we required account balance, and then market segment and comments, only these columns. See this, you can select this information. Same thing, if you want to select it from any Excel file, it is very difficult, right? We need to write some formulas in a Excel, then we have to pick, and it is not much user friendly so than this particular thing, right? At the same time, in that particular data, suppose let's assume that we have 50,000 records. In this, you need to search for any specific thing. Then for example, I want to search market segment only for automobiles. See this one, what we are doing, just give it here. See this, all the related data to automobiles, it came here, right? Because the data is available in a structured format here. It's very easy to fetch the information, is nothing but picking the information from your tables, right? That's why we are going to store that in a databases, so in form of tables. Now you understand, right? So why we required database, and then what is the relation between the data inside the database schema, and then this is, so for different modules, inside the modules you will have a tables or objects, tables, views, all these things will be available under schema. All the schemas where it will be available in databases, all the databases where it will be available in a software, right? So it will be any database software. Here we are using our Snowflake software, right? Now if you come to this, now we understand what exactly the data is. Now what exactly we are storing in the tables, that is nothing but a data, right? Why we need to store the data? If you want to analyze something, if you want to understand something, must and should, we need a data, right? Without data, we cannot able to do anything. This is okay, fine. Now let's come to this. So our actual topic, what we will discuss is today, we will discuss about so SQL things. Okay, so how to select the data, what all the things we can able to perform in a database by using so SQL, by using SQL. So here, if you observe, if it is a Excel file, you can able to fetch some information, you can see the information from here, right? But for example, here we have a data, where you have data in this particular software, right? From this software, if you want to get some information, what we are doing, we are writing select star from, this is a table. What is this? We will call this as SQL, structured query language. Structured query language. This is common language to read the data from our databases. Suppose, let's assume that we have n number of languages in the world, right? If you want to communicate with any language, what we required, you need to understand, so read and write. right, in that particular language. Then only you can able to communicate with that particular language. It can be like, so Japanese or French, whatever it may be, you need to know so how to communicate in that language, nothing but reading and writing. Then only you can able to do that, right? The same way, when you are storing the data in our databases, you will have n number of softwares in the market, like Oracle database, Teradata, DB2, PostgreSQL, right? All those are the different language. Let's assume that if you want to communicate with that, what is required commonly, that is, there is a small difference in between each and every softwares, but commonly what we are going to use is SQL, structured query language. Structured query language. This query language we will use to communicate with our database softwares. Database softwares. That's why we required SQL. So here, when you observe, okay, let's come to this. When you are simple thing, if you observe here in our this particular worksheet, whatever we are going to write, you can write it here in the worksheet. See this, what you are doing, for example, and we need some information from this particular table, or let me take small table, call center. We have around 60 records here, right? So let's connect it to this schema. When you want to communicate with any of the database, within the database, any of the schema, what you need to do, suppose, so this particular Excel is a database. Within this, I want to go to this particular sheet. What I am doing, I am clicking on the sheet. Then I am doing some implementation on this, right? What you have to do, I need to open this Excel, then I have to come to this sheet, then I have to work, right? The same way here. So we have a table here where it is available in this particular schema. This schema is available in this database. So what you need to do, you need to in this worksheet, when you are working, you need to connect it to that particular database. You need to connect it to the schema. If you want to do it manually, you can click and then you can select database name, schema name here. Instead of that, what you can do is, see this, click on the schema. Now, what is the schema here assigned? TPCHSF 1000, right? But here, what is the schema, right? SF 100 TCL. So the TPCDS is a some call center organization. So they have given for our Snowflake as requested their data for our practice purpose. Here, each and everything, they have their information, they kept it here. Now, if you want to connect to this schema, you can connect it here from the drop down list, or another option is simple, click on this, set as a context. Set as a context. Now observe this, schema is connected, right? Its schema is connected here. Now it is available. Just a minute. I'm sorry. Okay, so now we are connecting to schema, right? So the same way, so let's say, for example, once it is connected, if you want to fetch any information from this table, so just select star from, we have a shortcuts, and when you are want to write, yes, SQL, so this is a syntax, select star from, so what is the table name? Call center. Call center. Now observe this, when you run this, when you want to run this query, so you have to give the semicolon, and then after that select it and then run. See this one, you can able to see the data related to call center data, right? What you are doing, selecting means picking, star means all, star means it represent all information, it means nothing but all the columns. From where, this is a table, it means you are telling to this in this command to this particular, so software, in this particular worksheet, I need, so select all the columns from this particular table. That is the meaning of this. We are selecting all the columns from table name. If you give separate different table name, you will get other records. See this is related to call center data. If you want to, so some, if you want some other information here, so instead of call center data, you can give, this is one thing, I will give select star from, what is the other table, catalog page. See this one, catalog page. We will see that going forward. I will show you so how to like create a table, how to insert the data into the table and everything. Catalog page, this is a page, not h, and select and then run. Now you can see the information related to catalog page in this particular table, right? This information, if you want to fetch any information, if you want to communicate to this database, what is required? SQL is required, that is structured query language. Now we will discuss one by one. So when you are writing a query, there is a syntax, there is a rules. Okay, when you are writing query, we need to write the query in this order: select, from, where, group by, having, order by. When you are writing, this is the order. When it is executing from the back end, from the down it will execute. First it will execute order by, then having, group by, then where, then select from. So we will discuss that each and every thing. What is group by, what is having, what is order, what is where condition. We will discuss one by one. But so just remember, this is the syntax. So when you are writing, this is the order. First select, then from, then you can give where condition, then you can group by condition, then we can give having, then order by. When you are writing a query, when it is executing from the back end, it will execute from the, so in this way, so from the bottom to so top. So order by, having, group by, so where condition, from. Okay, what it mean by that, each and every conditions here we will see that. So now, so before that, so if you generally, if you want to fetch any information, so here we can use, see this one, and or conditions. So and at the same time, let's say, so we will see where conditions, this is the table, we have a table, and can see, come here, suppose we have all the information from the call center when you are writing this information, right? But I don't want all the information from the table. Instead of star, what you can do is, you can give, for example, only the column names. See this, what you are doing is column name. Just I am copying the column name from here. Customer name, copy the column name, this customer name, and then CC class. Like this, we can give specific columns. When you give specific columns, what will happen? Instead of picking all the columns, if you give star, it will give you all the columns. If you give specific columns, it will give you only related to these columns only related to these columns. Okay, these columns related to, so which table, this one is related to our calls catalog page or call center catalog page, I think. Let's come to the catalog page and then give this information. See this one, when you write this information here, I think it is from call center. Observe this, only it is displaying only these particular specific names, right? If you give star here, then it will pick all the columns. If you want only the specific columns, instead of star, you can give the specific column names, right, from the table. Okay, and in this, I want to see only the related to large. So here you can see in this data, you have small, the CC class equal to small, and then medium, and then large. All the information it is displaying here around 60 records, right? But I don't want to see all the information. Then what you can do is you can give where condition. Where condition is nothing but filter condition. We are giving a filter where class equal to large. When you are typing strings, you have to give like this. Within the single quotes, you have to give like this. If it is number, we don't want to give the single quotes. Okay, what you are doing here, just we are implementing a where condition. Observe this one. Select column names from table where, so our column name, so this particular class equal to large. When you execute this, what it will give you, it will give us only related to the CC class equal to large from this particular table, and then these columns it will display from this table, and then only the large CC equal to large. When you are writing, what you are writing, select from, see this, where, up to where. When it is executing, first it will execute where condition. It will check the large CC equal to large where it is, and then this CC equal to large is available in, so which table, and then what are the columns it has to display it. So when it is executing, so from the back to starting. So when it we are writing, so from here to here, the same thing. So select, before we saw that, right? Same way here. So one more thing, so we can give, so these conditions also, like less than, greater than, if you have, see this one, CC equal to large. And then if you want to implement, so and R, we have two things. One is and, another one is R. And means what it will do, so it will, so give both the condition has to be matched. That is nothing but and. R means if any one of the condition it matches, then it is R, then it is going to be R. And means, so it has to satisfy both the conditions. R means any one of the condition, if it satisfies, then we can say that that is a R. Now if you observe the same so thing, the queries here, whatever we have. Now let me come here and let's observe this. Select star from. If it is not connected to database, not connected to schema, then we have to give the complete address of the table. So if you want to give this, instead of typing, what you can do is, see this, click on this, and then place name in SQL. Then what you observed, this is a database name, this is a schema name, this is schema name, this is a table name, right? Same thing, this is a table name, right? Same thing we are displaying here. Once it is connected to this database and schema, then no need to give this, no need to give this in complete information. So if you give the complete information also, it will display. If you give only the column, only the table name, call center table name, here also it is going to work. Now what we are fetching here, so previously CC underscore CC class equal to large we have fetched, right? This particular information. But here what we required is, when you observe in, so call center table, what is the table name here? This is the table name, right? So it will give you the complete information from the table, right? When you run that, when you run this, see this, it will give you the complete information from this CC underscore large. And at the same time, see this, call center SK, this is a specific key, call center SK less than 5, call center SK is less than 5. Those information only we required. So if you observe, let me check, we will pick, if you want to know what is call center SK contains, that particular column, we will pick it in select condition. See this one. Now when you observe this, when you write, what you are writing, We are specifying columns, only specific columns. See this call center SK, right? And then start date, and then name, and then so class. So we are displaying, and at the same time we are giving a filter condition where CC equal to large. In this, again, if you observe, we have call center SK, we have some serial number. So this is unique identification. Wherever the call center SK equal to 5, only that particular information only we required. That is and both the information, right? It has to satisfy both the conditions. So here we have a condition in a where we have given only one condition. If you want to give another condition also, it has to satisfy, then we can give and condition. We can give and. Now observe this one. When you execute this, what will happen? Only one specific record is available for that both the conditions matching. Both the conditions is matching. If you want to see that, here also you can give and what is the condition? Call center SK equal to 5. Here you will get the exact records, right? Then it is very easy to so check the information. See this one. Call center SK less than 5. What is the condition? Less than 5. Call center SK only 1, right? Only this is 1. So it means only one record is satisfying this condition. This is and. If you want to give or, it means any one of the condition if it satisfies, then I need to display some records. Then what do you need to do? Same thing. Instead of and, what we can give is we are going to give same column names. We are selecting these columns from this particular table, where call center. So this one class equal to large, CC class equal to large, and then call center SK less than or equal to 5. Previously we have given this is the and condition. Instead of, we will give or. So and means it is going to any, so both the conditions satisfy. Or means any one of the condition if it satisfies, then give. So either it satisfies this records, you can display. Or if it satisfies less than 5 records, display. It means so it should be available less than 5 at the same time, or so you can so display the records related to CC class equal to large. Now observe this, and both the condition it has to satisfy, or any one of the condition it has to satisfy. See this one, less than 5, so that is only one record. Remaining all are not less than 5. Why it is displaying all the other records? Because of CC class equal to large. This is why exactly these records, because we have in the condition what we have given. So we have given large or this less than equal to 5. That's why it is picking both the informations. So from that particular table, this is the where condition, how we can able to filter the data. So if you give star, it will display all the columns. If you give specific column names, it will give you only the specific columns. This is nothing about and or, and then filter condition. What we have done, so we can select the data from the table. It means we are communicating with the database, and then with this particular query, we will call it as a query. With this particular query, we are communicating with the database, and then we are fetching some information from here, and then it is displaying here. The result is displaying here. Now this is and or. Same way, we have some other things. Now let's say and of. So this is again and or required. Let me check. Okay, so this is related to different schemas. If you want to go to the different schema and then you can search, you can able to see this information. Okay, let it be. So comments your SQL statement. Okay, whatever you are writing. So here, if you are writing, if you execute it, then it will give some information, right? Here. Now, but I don't want to so give this command. If you want to comment it, basically, if you want to comment, what you can do is you can give like this. So this one, when you give like this, what happened? This is commented. When you execute this, what will happen? Observe this empty SQL statement. The statement is commented. It is nothing but so you it is hiding the information. You can give like this, or we can give like this also. It is nothing but the particular line has been commented. The multiple lines, if you want to comment, for example, here, see this. If you give like this, it will be commented here. And then if you want multiple lines, so you what you have to do is like this star. So this one after that star till here, till here. Then these two lines has been commented. Otherwise, what you need to do, every line you have to comment like this. So this one, every line you have to comment. You don't want that particular line has to be executed. You have to give like this comment. Or if you have multiple lines, instead of giving every line like this here, you can give. So this is so word slash and then star. After that here to till here till till here. You can give this like this. Again star and then this one. This is nothing but a we are commenting that particular thing. We are commenting. If you remove that, then it will not be in a commented. So this one. Now you can execute this one. So if you want, if you don't want to execute, if you don't want to, if you want to, so comment that one. So just give so hyphens or you can give so like this the particular statement when you want to comment. That is the information related to so how we can able to comment. Now, what all the operations we can able to perform in our when you are communicating with our database, when you are communicating with our data in the tables, what are the other things we can able to perform? When you observe, we have this is the call center table. So what are the other things we can able to perform is we can able to so do all these things: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and then modules. Everything we can able to perform here. These are so arithmetic operators, right? The same way comparison operators, like we can able to implement less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. When you are writing a query, all these things, if you observe here, so what we have done previously, so see this less than we have implemented, right? So the less than we have implemented. Here what we have done, equal to we have implemented, right? The same way we can able to perform all these comparison operators, equal to, not equal to, and logical operators, and are we saw that, right? And are same way in means whatever the things is available in department 10 and 20, in both the things it will display, not in opposite to that, between. For example, salary between, so suppose 1000 into 10,000, that is between, age between, so 20 to 40, right? So this is like operator, and then so we will see that, and then so contains operator. All these are the logical operators, comparison operators, and then arithmetic operators. All these operators we can able to perform in SQL. So when you are working with that, okay. So these are the operators. So what we are going to see now. So we will see so one by one. So how we can able to do that. So let's finish where and operate. So this we have done that where and then so this so equal to condition, and then at the same time so we saw that less than operation, right? In our query, what it will tell, so from that and means both the things, R means anyone, right? R means anyone. Okay. So where with and so where with or we saw that. And then arithmetic operators, if you want to perform anything, so anything if you want to see, so you can able to so give plus, minus, division, and everything we can able to perform here. This is the example so of our table, whatever the table is available. Now just observe this, what it will display. Come here. Now observe what we are giving, total price. Here what we are doing, addition. Here subtraction, multiplication, right? And then division. This is module, right? We have two columns. One is total price, another one is customer key. So based on the customer key, we are trying to so add, right? This is so particular total price with the customer key, output customer key. If you observe, so from the orders, we have a table called order. Let me check. This is SF1 TPCCH SF1. We have orders table. See this one? We have the orders table. If you check the data here, so these are the data, right? See this one? Customer key. And then at the same time, so we have, so what is the other column? We have, so total price. We'll have total price. See this one, total price. So based on this, we are performing some operations. All these are the operations what we can perform. Now observe this one. If you want individually also, you can see this. Then it will display some information. See this one, total price, total price with the key. One is addition, one is so subtraction, one is division, another one is a so module, right? The one is multiply. We can able to see all the information. So based on so our formulas, right? These are so formulas we can able to perform in the table. When you are selecting, you need to see, let's say simple thing, only. So this one, if you want to see only, I want to add total price and then customer key. As if you observe one thing, we are using alias name. This is as. This one is for example, let's say you need to, we have a value, you need to calculate tax, or then what you will do, now observe this, tax means salary multiply 0.30%. This is nothing but a tax, right? We have to give this, we have to assign this, the column name when it is displaying, it has to display as tax. Then you can give like this as statement. Here observe this, if you observe this total price plus customer key, we are displaying as total price customer key. This is addition. See this one, how the column is displaying here. If you observe total price customer key addition, right? So here, so instead of so this addition, I will give some other name. For example, ADD addition. Okay, just I have given addition column. Okay, just for the understanding. Now observe this one. When I am running this, only these two things, from orders, from orders, only this particular thing we are running. So we are picking the total price plus customer key as addition column, right? This is, we are giving a alias name. When it is displaying these two, it has to display this column as a addition column. If you don't so if you don't give this, what will happen also, we will see that. Now when you are executing any query, it has to be ended with semicolon. When you observe this, only two things we are implementing. See this one, total price addition column. So we can able to see what is the column name. If we don't give this one, let's say example, if you don't give the alias name, how it is going to be display? Select this price, total price by customer key from This is a table. Table is available in schema. This is a database. That's why we are giving complete address, because we didn't selected this particular so schema, and then so this particular so database, right? Database is available, but we are not in that specific schema. That's why we are giving complete address. Now let's observe this, how it will be displayed. See this one. If you don't give the name, alias name, what is happening? It is giving the exactly so the column name as what we are doing here, right? That's why if you want to specifically mention the column names, so mother names, so like this, so this salary multiply 0.03 will be tax, then you can mention it as a tax. So when you are dividing, multiplying, and a module, everything, all these operations we can able to perform here. Okay, it's what we are doing here, just by using the different operations. So we are trying to communicate with our database. We are trying to communicate with our database. Okay, we will stop it here. So we will source the questions. Next, what we will do is we will see comparison operators, logical operators, and then between operators, all these things. What we will do is we will send this whatever the scripts we are executing here, right? I will send the same scripts to you guys, to your email IDs. So then what you have to do is you have to practice same thing in your so system. If you observe, no need to worry, when you created this trial account, by default you will have this database. By default you will have this database, so you will have all the details whatever we are working here. All the details it will be available in your trial account also. Only the thing is, just try to so implement this. So whatever the scripts is available here, the same SQL queries, try to execute, and then try to check each and everything. So how to communicate with the database, how to fetch some records from the database. Later we will see that one by one, how we are going to work with what is DDL command, what is DML command, all those things also we will discuss. Once we are familiar with these database topics, 6, then we will jump into our Snowflake things. Then we will discuss each and every functionality in a Snowflake, how the things will work in Snowflake, what exactly Snowflake is. Okay, any questions here?
Sir, are you going to send these like the queries that you were writing like in like PDF form or anything so we can practice?
I will send it to you guys.
Okay,
And
thank
so
you.
I will collect all your email IDs so from Siva, and then I will send it to you, or I will send it to Siva. He will so forward it to you. Okay, to
Okay,
everyone.
thank you.
So everyone understanding, right? If I am fast, let me know. If anyone already know these things, right? So maybe it will be a revision for you. So but so anyone is not having any idea on this particular, like how to write the queries, so for them it will be very useful. Any questions from anyone? Okay, but please practice on daily basis at least. So this one, so you have to be so hands-on. So just you need to, we have to be very comfortable in writing the query. Simple things only we are doing, right? Only the thing is just try to understand what exactly we are doing here. So then it is very easy to so write this type of the queries. Okay, anyway, I will send these scripts to you. Okay, so you can so use the same scripts, and then you can try to implement it.
Sir, without
Yes.
AWS or any
Mm,
Google
mm,
cloud system, um,
mm.
Snowflake doesn't exist, or Snowflake is completely different. Because while
It means
registering, we are selecting
mm,
AWS. Particular cloud platform, no?
I got you. That is, so Snowflake, what they will do is their complete architecture they built on these platforms. It can be a AWS platform or GCP platform or AWS platform. Only these three things. That is a cloud providers who is like providing a platform to them is so any one of the three major providers. What they have done is suppose, let me tell you in this way, when we are installing database in my system, it will be available with me, right? In my system it will be available, but here it's a completely cloud. Who is the cloud provider is these three platforms. So without that we cannot able to install Snowflake.
Okay, sir.
Okay, any other questions? I hope everyone created a trial account. If not, please create a trial account. If you are facing any issue, please let me know. Okay, guys, if you don't have any questions, we will wind up. And tomorrow we don't have a session. Day after tomorrow we are connecting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.